Hi, everybody. Welcome to Trans and the Unfriendly Fridays. I'm Aaron Green. Today I have with me Ali. We're going to be talking
Hello.
about a lot of really cool things. How you doing today, Ali?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing very well. It's nice to have you on the show. Very excited. I know we've got a big thing coming up here soon, so I'm sure we'll talk about that here shortly. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, how's your day been going?
Oh, I can't complain. Just completed a total rebrand. I was going by a different stage name. I just switched it to EroticSkeleton. So
Ooh, nice.
just going through updating everything,
Right.
It's been fun though. I've been enjoying it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're having a good time. Yeah, we really like to have your presence in the Boomer chat. I like you being active. It's really cool. Um, it's almost like trans takeover there now, huh? There's so many
Yeah.
trans people there. Oh my god, it's full of trans people. Oh well, that's okay. But
Not a
anyway,
bad thing.
no, it's not. It certainly is
Those are
not.
my people.
Yeah, exactly. Those are my people. Well, good. Yeah, like I said, it's very good to have you here. If you don't mind, let's go ahead and jump into the first topic I'd like to talk about. Would you mind telling us a little bit about your experience as a trans person yourself?
Sure. I'm based out of Houston now, but I was not born in Texas. So, originally, I was born in Salt Lake City, and because of that, as you might expect, I was brought up very conservative Mormon. And, I was born in '86. So, I'm going to be 35 in a few more days here.
Hmm.
And, when I was growing up, uh, it's not necessarily, that I had bad ideas about gay or trans people shoved down my throat or anything. It was actually just not a conversation that was happening at all. And so, I really just wasn't aware of gay people and especially trans people growing up. We might have known one or two gay kids, definitely no trans kids, and the only representation of trans people that I even had in media uh, were like shitty '90s comedies.
Hmm.
And you know, I I talk about this with my partner. She's trans as well, and um we both grew up in the '90s, and so we have a lot of fond memories of, like, old movies from the '90s that we get real nostalgic about, and we wanna go back and watch them. And some of those are comedies that we remember, and unfortunately, we found that, like, most of those comedies now, a lot of them have really transphobic, shitty depictions of trans women in them, and really transphobic, shitty jokes in them that, like, just kinda ruin the whole experience for us. We're like, "Oh, there's transphobic shit in this one. Guess this we can't watch this one anymore. Aw, damn," you know? Um but the reason I bring that up is just because that was essentially my only exposure to trans people growing up. So I didn't transition officially until I turned 26. Uh, And I did actually try to come out earlier than that. Uh, I was married at the time. I got married really young. Um, I was probably 22 or 23 at the time. And I tried to come out to my partner at the time, and she just did not accept me at all. And I got a very, very bad reaction, and it basically just kind of pushed me back into the closet, unfortunately, for like another 3 more years or so until I finally was like, oh no, fuck this, we're not doing this anymore. But so yeah, I unfortunately came to it, a little bit late, and, I feel like a lot of trans folks talk about, especially older. trans folks, it feels like to me, where they'll talk about how they just kind of like always knew their entire life. Like, I was, you know, trying on clothes when I was like 5 or, whatever. And that wasn't really me. I was more kind of like, uh, I guess just gender queer in terms of my presentation. But that wasn't really a term that was used a whole lot, at least that I remember growing up, at least where I lived. I never heard the term genderqueer. So like I never would have known to just use that as a descriptor for myself. It would have been really helpful as an identity at the time in hindsight, but um I just I got called gay a lot because that was just kind of what everyone assumed you were if they couldn't figure out, if you didn't fit into the cis hetero binary, then you were just assigned gay, whether or not you were a homosexual or not. You know what I mean? So I did eventually find some resources online and kind of make my way through it. It was a process though. Even this was 2013, and that doesn't seem like that long ago, but even in 2013, the discourse was miles away from where we're at now. And it's still not there yet, but 2013, oh my goodness. I actually the gatekeeping for getting hormones was insane back then. Um, there were no informed consent clinics where I lived. I had to go through like 3 different endocrinologists until I found one that was even willing to do HRT for me.
Mhm.
And then, before I could even get prescribed the HRT, I had to go to a counselor and get a diagnosis of gender identity disorder first. So, like, I had to have a few sessions of counseling first just to, like, make sure that I knew what the fuck I was talking about or knew I was trans. I don't know. It was a lot stranger back then. It was a lot more heavy in terms of gatekeeping than it is now. And and it was only then that I was able to see an endocrinologist and then finally get prescribed hormones and go from there. God damn. And then you know, at this point I I feel like I'm basically done. If that's a thing we can say
Mhm.
about transition. My transition's been completed, I'm just in maintenance mode, so I'm just taking my hormones that I need, my daily hormones, and that's it. I've had all the surgeries I need at this point. Um, so that's been great, but I'll tell you, in terms of gatekeeping, it gets even crazier when you start talking about, gender reaffirmation surgery or gender affirmation surgery, like, holy shit, I had to get 2 different doctor notes for that. It's really, really gatekeepy, and, like, I understand why it is that way, but still, it's a very difficult process for anyone to go through, and honestly, I'm glad things have gotten so much better than they were now, or were then rather. And you know, it's still not perfect. It's still difficult. There's still a lot of gatekeeping that goes on, but it's so much better than I remember it being back then. Oh my God. So you know,
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you're starting to see stuff like self-service, you know, things, I guess. I don't want to say self-service services. That sounds stupid and redundant. But
are
I
you
mean,
talking about informed consent clinics?
well, kind of, but like not just that, but like services like Plume and
Mm,
the like where you can it's like a subscription service and you get access to a doctor and
yes.
stuff like that. Yeah. That advent is pretty transformative for the trans community, let's say. Um,
I think you could say it's been a lifesaver in some cases.
Absolutely, it has. I mean, certainly not everybody can still participate. There's that barrier to entry. Obviously, you have that monthly cost and you have to pay for your hormones. But um, you know, good tip for anybody that doesn't know: if you can go on GoodRx and get a coupon to like have the cost of your estrogen, like especially if you're on injections where it's like almost $100 a bottle or something like that. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, definitely check out GoodRx. You've got some good coupons there. I'm not
I'm on
sponsored or
injections,
anything,
so
but
I get
oh,
it.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
absolutely.
I get it, and, it's funny because I was taking just the regular oral tablets for so long, and I remember seeing girls who were on injections, and I would see them take their injections, and I was just like, "That looks insane. I could never do that. There's no
Hmm.
fucking way. You're never gonna like, this is never gonna happen." And,
Yeah.
here I am now. I'm on injections too, and it's like you just look to your partner, and you're just like, "Sweetie, can you help me out?" You know?
Yeah, it is so much easier when it's not you yourself. I mean, I can do it. It does spike my nerves a little bit to do it myself.
Yeah, it's so weird because like I have a pretty high pain tolerance. I mean, you can see all my tattoos,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
like for some reason it's and tattoo guns have needles too, but they're different needles. Like the really long skinny medical needles, those are the ones that just those get me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Like if you ever had to have like the I don't know if you've seen like any medical shows, but I used to watch a lot of House, and
Yeah.
a lot of times they would have to take like bone marrow out of somebody's spine or something like that and just use this giant fucking needle that's like 2 feet long. And I'm like, almost gave me a phobia of needles. I'm glad it didn't.
Like a hypodermic needle.
Yeah. Oh,
Brutal. No,
yeah.
I know all about that stuff. My mother's a nurse, so
Oh.
I know I've heard all the stories. She worked in the ER, like I've heard it all.
Nice. Yeah. My grandma was a nurse. She was an RN for a good number of years.
Hmm.
And then she retired, and then she wasn't a nurse anymore. She did a substitute teacher. That's what she was after she
Oh,
retired. Yeah. She's
that's
a
cool.
very driven woman, she was. Yeah. I hope to take after her.
Well, you seem pretty driven to me, Aaron,
Oh.
doing this show with the frequency that you do. My goodness.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Uh,
Yeah.
I like that it gives me an opportunity to just like flex my muscles.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love it. Like I said, you're like the trans community's Philly D, but a little more based.
oh, I know, right? Like, I just like keeping people updated. I like doing the short episodes. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for having me.
Of course, yeah, it's a pleasure. I wanted to kind of expand upon your experience here. I know that you've been in transition for a while, and right now, as you said, you're in maintenance mode. Would you have any advice for any like younger trans people that you might want to give out? I know a lot of my previous guests have been just like a couple years into or just beginning. So, anything you might want to
Um,
say to them?
I would say the biggest thing when you first start hormone replacement therapy is to like just try and be patient. It's so hard, but the thing is a lot of what ends up being what I would call your final look, um, once your body is mostly all kind of settled into the shape that it's going to take. That usually takes about a year, but it can take longer and you can see results, to different parts of your body. faster than others, and like everybody is completely different, you know? So your results are not going to be the same as someone else's, obviously. And it's going to take different times. And I think the thing I see the most among trans women in particular that have just started hormones is they get frustrated because they feel like they're not seeing results or they're not seeing results fast enough. And then I talk to them again 6 months later, and they're suddenly a lot happier with their appearance. You know, it's just it's really hard, and I know how it is. I went through that myself, and, like, it feels like a never-ending struggle. Even when you get to year 2 and year 3, it's like, "Okay, well, the hormones have done a lot for me. I have curves now. Fuck yeah." But, like, I need that BA surgery or whatever, you know? Like, it can feel never-ending at times, but, like I said, I'm in maintenance mode. I'm done. Like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Like this is not like this does not have to be a rest of your life endless thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's good advice. Just take it easy, and it's hard to not compare yourself to others, especially like in a lot of trans feminine circles. A lot of like people like to share with each other, for example.
Hmm.
And I can see the reasoning why, but it's like it kind of encourages you to compare yourself to other people, and that can be unhealthy because, like you said, everybody's different. Literally, every body is different. Every body will
Hmm.
metabolize things differently. Every body has different genetics and will look differently and will have different features and stuff like that. So, it's just kind of more focus on yourself and, um, you know, doing the things that you need to do to keep maintenance up and stuff like that. But ultimately, I think, you know, just not worrying about it too much. It's
It's
something
really
that can
hard not
like,
to.
yeah, it's a cloud that can just like kind of hang
Yeah.
over you constantly, and it's
But
it's yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I like to think about dysphoria kind of like quicksand. Like it's one of those things that it can come up at any time when you're not necessarily expecting it. And then once you step in the dysphoria, the more you start thinking about it and like critiquing and analyzing, like it can just slowly start pulling you in deeper and deeper and deeper until like it overwhelms you, you know? And like so it's hard not to fall into that. I get it. So I guess the my advice is to just try and not focus on it and try and be as patient as possible with yourself and with the hormones.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else really to add. That's perfect.
Great.
Being patient is like one of the hardest things to do, but if you can learn
Oh, I
that, you
know.
can go really far. So,
Yeah.
well, good. Let's move on to something a little bit different. Do you have any like interests or projects or anything that you're working on right now?
Oh my gosh, I have a bunch of stuff I'm doing right now. So, the first big thing that I'm super excited about, I'm doing with you. We are going to play Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We are going to record probably like the first 1 or 2 maybe sessions, and then we're just gonna start streaming it on Twitch, and it's going to be 5 trans ladies with a gay cis man as the DM. We're calling it School of Transmutation, and that's trans hyphen mutation. Uh, you probably won't be able to find the channel on YouTube yet. We're working on it, but keep an eye out for that. Um, we'll be posting about it on Twitter and stuff. It's gonna be super fun, you guys. I'm super excited for that. I'm also about to launch an OnlyFans, so I'm very excited for that. Um, that should be coming in a couple of weeks. I'm also working on a new album. I'm a musician. So, EroticSkeleton is my band name and also my Twitter handle and most of my stuff, including my Twitch. I also stream on Twitch. I'm a Twitch affiliate. I do all sorts of stuff for streams. I split it pretty 50-50 between video games and politics and like YouTube React stuff. And then occasionally I'll do other stuff like I'll have miniatures painting streams sometimes and we'll paint minis on stream together. And that's always fun. Um so yeah, I think that's all the projects I have going uh for now. The best place to keep up with me is on Twitter. I'm Erotic Skeleton on Twitter. Or if you just go to linktree/erotic skeleton, it's got all my stuff on it. All my stuff. It's got my SoundCloud, everything. And I'm just erotic skeleton on SoundCloud too. So
Very cool. I'll leave all the links in the description too, so be sure to check those out as well. Yeah, if you're feeling particularly lazy, you don't want to type in the thing, just gonna hit the click button. So. But yeah, no, very cool. I'm very excited for our D&D campaign. It's been a number of years since I've played a campaign, so ready to
oh
get
my
my
god, same
hands dirty
here.
again.
I haven't played since 3.5.
Really?
I'm pumped. I haven't tried 5th edition yet, so I'm totally pumped. I'm an old school D&D nerd. I've been playing since Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Okay,
Okay.
2
No.
2.0, fucking back in the day. Back when we had to fuck with Thaco. I don't miss those days at all. So yeah, I've been playing a long time and it is way past time for me to try 5th edition, so I'm super stoked.
Oh yeah, me too. I don't think I've ever played 5th edition necessarily, but I've played more modern, beginner-friendly RPGs. I have like kind of a grasp on the basics, so
Well,
yeah.
5th edition is the most coherent and streamlined in terms of rules that I think Dungeons and Dragons has ever been. So I'm stoked for that. I hated how bogged down Pathfinder and 3.5 were. It felt kind of unnecessarily complicated. I don't know. People had character sheets that were like 30 pages long and like that's cool if you want to play that way. Like I'm not judging anyone that likes to play that way. Like if you prefer that, like play that version. That's totally cool. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying for someone like me who plays like a variety of board games and a variety of video games and stuff, like I don't need an entire booklet like dedicated to my character. Like one sheet with like a few stats on it. That's good enough for me. Like keep it simple. That's keep it simple, stupid. You know, like just keep it simple for people like me that don't necessarily want to thumb through a manual every time they need to roll a check.
Right,
That's just
exactly.
me though. Don't you know? We're all entitled to our own opinions, okay? If you like that stuff, no hate.
No, I mean like I like the I even like the website that Tori sent to us to start the character sheets or whatever. That
Oh
made
yeah,
things like so easy, like where you can
that
roll it.
D&D Beyond
Yeah.
is yeah, I mean not sponsored, but damn.
So-
Uh I have to say as someone who's tried to run campaigns using digital sheets and stuff, this is the easiest it's ever been. Oh my god. It used to be such a pain and such a mess with all the pencils and the dice and everything. Like
Yeah.
I like this. I like this so much more. Don't mind the cats in the background. They're
I
just
love them. I
they're
I
going nuts
I
right
adore
now.
them. Oh, I wish I had a
That
fucking
the black kitty you see in the
uh,
background is Lucifer. That's my partner Sabrina's cat.
Lucifer. Ah,
And then oh my goodness,
hello.
that's real.
Hello, Azriel. Oh.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. Furry friends are welcome. Oh.
Goodness. He just this is usually what happens when I stream on Twitch as well. So
Yeah,
this is par for the course.
he comes up and he wants attention, huh?
Hmm.
Very good. Very, very good.
I guess we're just doing this now.
We're just doing it now.
Sorry.
No, it's good. It's good.
All
Well,
right.
so what else would you like to talk? Anything else in particular on your mind tonight?
What else is on my mind? Um, I'm trying to figure out, at least for me, I've been trying to figure out a new format for Twitch streaming.
Hmm.
It's just been it's so difficult to settle on any one thing. That's always been my problem. And I'm sorry, my cat is trying to take my clothes off.
It's okay. If something comes off, don't worry. I'll censor it in post.
Okay. I think we're okay now.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been playing the Cook Serve Delicious games a lot. I love those games. I don't know if you've ever tried those.
Mm-mm.
They're it was it was made by the game designer is kind of a weird dude. He's on Twitter. I follow him. Like he's super nice, don't get me wrong. I've interacted with him a few times, but like he's one of those kind of like really eccentric game designers where somebody asked him why he made the Cook Serve Delicious games. There's three of them. Uh, okay, that's three, right? Yeah. Okay. There's three of them. Um, and his answer was just it was that like sort of weird esoteric kind of the game I wanted to play, it didn't exist. You know?
Yeah, right.
And he's just I don't know. He's got a really weird like personality, but I think that's actually a lot of game designers.
Yeah.
Like I think John Carmack is very much just kind of weird, like has a weird sense of humor and stuff like that too. It I don't know. I wish I could do game design.
Yeah, I was in a little bit of game design when I was in like high school. I pirated a copy of, well, I won't say pirated. I'll say I was given a copy of, I don't know if it was pirated or not, but it likely was, RPG Maker. And so
Hmm.
I played around a lot with that and learned how to like script events and chain them together and set flags and stuff like that. That was a lot of fun for me. I really enjoyed that part.
I think I'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
Um, I've been thinking a lot about other projects I can do because like at this point I'm not gonna like limit myself to anything anymore. If it sounds interesting, I'll try it, you know. Um I've been having ideas like possibly doing cooking streams. I really wanted to try my hand at baking. I want to bake some like proper round pancakes and some pies. Oh my god, I really want to try. It's these Cook Serve Delicious games. They've made me want to try
Yeah.
cooking in real life, and I'm like, I could make a stream out of that, and it would be great. But like, um, I don't know. I'm just the sky's the limit, I guess. But I don't know. I just I was part of the reason I so when I got into streaming and after I made affiliate, I was trying to do kind of the Hassan thing, right?
Hmm.
Where you just stream. I was streaming like 8 to 10 hour streams depending on the day, and I was going almost every day, and then My cat. So yeah, I was going almost every day, and then, I'd take a day off here, a day off there, whatever. And it burned me out so bad. I'm so upset with myself that I did that. And like there's been all this stuff happening with Twitch and streamers, like there were the leaks and um there were also the Facebook leaks, and like I've been thinking about this, and this is part of the reason why I haven't gone back to streaming yet. I burned myself out because I was working myself to death trying to make this into, an actual income, trying to be a content creator. I was spending, you know, 8 to 10 hours a day doing the actual Twitch stream, and then I was doing, 2 hours, 3 hours getting ready with clothes, makeup, everything else. And then I was also spending, an hour, 2 hours a day editing. It was insane. It was actually insane. And some people can do that. Like Hassan does that. He doesn't really mess with his YouTube uploads a whole lot. He just lets basically all of his fans clip his stuff out and make revenue off of it, which is great. I think that's awesome. But after all the leaks and stuff, I was kind of thinking like, you know, Twitch and like YouTube and Facebook and all the streaming platforms, if you look at the numbers for the streamers that leaked for what their incomes were, if they were getting that much of a cut, that much of a revenue cut, then you have to think, damn, how much is, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, etc. making on these streamers? Because if you look at someone like Hassan, this person is streaming 6, 7 days a week, and they're streaming 10 hours a day, and they have how many viewers every single day, that means that one streamer is bringing in, 20,000 people every single fucking day. How much of their entire platform is that? That's insane. And YouTube, it's the same thing. Why have longer and longer videos done better and better on the logarithm? Why are more and more YouTubers making longer and longer videos? Because that's what does well on the logarithm. That's what makes monetization. And the reason that is because YouTube wants you to stay on the site longer. And so the longer you're able to stay and watch a video, that's longer you're on their website and not another website. And that's all it is. And it's the same thing with Twitch and everything else. And so I'm just like, I can't, as a content creator, put all of my eggs in one basket anymore. I can't just be a Twitch affiliate. I need to do other stuff. I need to do other forms of content creation. But because I'm a Twitch affiliate, I'm signed into a exclusivity with Twitch. So I can only live stream on Twitch. So if I want to do other forms of content creation, it has to be like pre-recorded stuff, or like YouTube videos or stuff or whatever. Um, so that limits me a little bit. But it's not the end of the world for me. And, a lot of people, I don't know, maybe it's not a lot of people, but some people might get upset about that, the exclusivity thing. It's not a big deal to me. It's whatever. Um, but that's why I'm launching the OnlyFans. That's why I'm working on music again. That's why I'm, doing all these other things. That's why I create memes and shit posts and shit like that, because I'm just trying to do everything that I enjoy, everything that's fun, and make all of it a part of the brand. you know?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what I've been thinking about a lot lately. Um, it's just all of that.
Well, I don't know if if you've really noticed it or not, but in my opinion, I think that I've seen more of a trend toward that kind of longer form content. I think the
Mhm.
way it's kind of worked is that, YouTube kind of encouraged it, first with the, oh yeah, at least 10 minutes to maximize ad time. And then they were like,
Yep.
oh, well, we like, hour, 2 hour long videos, stuff like that. And people started watching that. And people started making it and then people kept watching it. And I think it's kind of conditioned us to like it almost at this point.
It definitely has. I never used to care about watching. In fact, I remember a time being on YouTube where if a video was an hour or more long, I didn't even want to watch it because I was like, Jesus Christ, that's way too fucking long. What do you think I'm gonna sit here all goddamn day? But that's exactly what we're doing now. And look at the average stream length for the biggest streamers on Twitch and how many viewers they have and you realize this is this is probably someone's like entire media viewing content for an entire day. If someone turns on Hassan the moment he starts his stream and watches him all the way until the end of his stream, and for a full 10-hour, that's probably their whole day. And that was probably the only media they consumed that entire day. That means that person spent all of their time on the Twitch platform. And that means one thing: big fucking bucks. Lots of goddamn money. So it will be interesting to see if anything comes of this. I don't think anything will. I think things will just continue uh, as they have been, and nothing to see here. Move along, and everyone will forget about it in a couple of weeks, and we won't be thinking about it anymore. But it would be interesting um, to see if if Hassan makes that much, how much more how much is he actually worth to Twitch compared to what he's getting paid, you know? Because it feels like he's not even getting paid anywhere close to the value of his labor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean,
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You gotta choose something. You gotta put your shit on you got to pick a platform basically. You got to go somewhere and the two biggest options are Twitch and YouTube and neither are particularly fabulous let's say in in terms of that, but you just you make do and I guess all you can do is hope that we start enforcing antitrust laws a bit in this country and
mm-hmm,
maybe break up some of these ridiculously huge tech monopolies.
mm-hmm.
But hey, maybe that's just too lofty a goal. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you 100%. I kind of see myself enjoying um, the longer form stuff, but I also like to speed it up. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
really?
I like that YouTube allows you to watch it at like 1.5 or 1 3/4 times speed, or even 2 times speed.
I usually don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's more just because that's not what I'm used to. I
Mm-hmm.
think once you get used to it, I could see how you would prefer that because you can potentially consume this sounds terrible, but consume that much more content,
Mm-hmm.
that much faster. I get it. You can get through a 2-hour movie in an hour and a half. I get it.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly. Well, I do it because a lot of times, like a lot of these like longer form videos, especially like YouTube and commentators and stuff, there'll be a lot of dead air or a lot of like back and forth or reading or something like that. slower
You're talking to
paced.
a Twitch streamer. I know all
Yeah.
about dead air and and lulls,
Yeah.
okay?
Well, I hope you don't get discouraged, because it would be nice to have more trans content creators out there. Um, I think we need more people. Just we need more numbers. We just simply need more
Yeah, no,
numbers.
I agree. You know what? I won't be content until half of the just chatting political frog streamers are trans women or trans men. Actually, let's see some more trans men
Yeah, right?
representation. Holy shit. There's like we can always use more trans representation in general, but like let's see some more trans men representation because there are plenty of trans women represented, I feel, in on Twitch, which is nice. Maybe not compared to the overall number, but still.
Right. Well, um, I'm actually looking for more trans mass content creators or trans mass people in general to host. So if you know anybody, send them my way. Definitely send them my
There you
way.
go.
So,
Well, I will be getting back to Twitch before too long. Like I said, I just had to kind of figure things out, and like I said, I'm in the middle of several different projects right now, so you know,
yeah,
we'll get to all of them eventually.
of course. Yeah. Um, was there anything else you may have had on your mind lately?
uh I really hope that um either NFTs go away or turn into something else. I saw an advertisement for a McRib NFT and I wanted to die.
A what?
It's an NFT
Uh-huh.
for the McDonald's McRib.
Does it like go away for half the year? Like where's that? You...
It should. You shouldn't be able to access it for part several times per year.
Yeah, like you can only
Should
get it
only
for
be available for a limited time.
like a month or two a year, and then it like disappears from your wallet. It'll randomly come back and
Yeah.
be like, "Hey, I'm here. The McRib is back, baby. Yeah."
I listen, I don't care if you really are like horny for blockchain and you want to attach blockchain to digital art, that's fine. My problem is I don't think it's a good use of electricity to be
I
having,
own this
how
monkey
many how
JPEG.
many God, how many hundreds of thousands of GPUs fucking calculating the blockchain for an image of a gorilla. Like, we gotta figure out a different way to do it. We can't be wasting just metric shit tons of electricity like this for oh my god, it's literally the first I thought the meme coins were annoying. I was fed
Yeah.
up with the meme coin scams and
Yeah.
the exit scams with the meme coins. Well, they're doing the same shit with NFTs now.
Yeah.
NFTs are getting the rug pulled out from under, and I'm just like, when will y'all learn? Like, damn,
They really
just
are
setting your
gullible.
money on fire. Fuck.
Yeah. Lots of
I
suspiciously wealthy tech bros.
Give me the money that you were gonna spend on an NFT. Let me go to Vegas and take it to the craps table. I will make you more money than your fucking NFT. I swear to God.
Yeah. Absolutely. I don't
At least
know.
I got better odds on the craps table. Shit.
Yeah. Right? Um Like the big problem I have is that they're like randomly generated images. It's not even like art. It's not even I mean, like it's very loosely
Well,
defined, but it's like a computer just randomly slapped this character with these traits and these clothes on together and made a hey, pff, there you go. There's your NFT.
it really depends.
Ah,
The NFTs are all over the place now because you have major corporations that are being kind of lazy about it and doing what you said, where they're basically just kind of generating random images and attaching random blockchain to it and calling it a day. But you have more sort of enterprising people that are trying to do NFTs of YouTube videos now. I'm hearing that is happening apparently. People are doing NFTs of their original YouTube videos that are apparently legendary. People are doing NFTs of like memes that they own. People are doing NFTs. I mean, so like I could see this as potentially maybe an interesting way for an artist to do maybe a unique set of prints or something. But I don't know. It seems like very niche, and it's not worth the electricity that's being consumed for it. We need to figure that out first. We need to figure something else out because that's not it. That's definitely not it.
yeah, yeah. I that when you think of it like that, like I don't know. There's like so much more that we could be using that energy for, you know? And it's such a waste to go to just saying, "Oh, this person owns this thing on this
Think of how
blockchain."
many chicken nuggies we could
Yeah,
cook
right?
with that amount of electricity.
So many chicken nuggies. We could have so many french fries and tater tots and hash browns.
Don't describe.
How many Waffle Houses do you think we could run on the amount of electricity it takes to keep all the NFTs? How many Waffle Houses? I got my money on
God.
72 and three quarters.
Oh, and meanwhile, this fucking infrastructure bill is a disaster, and like I was so sad because I really one of my biggest gripes about living in the United States is just how unfriendly our cities are to pedestrians. It's
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous to try and get around in any major city here, except for, I don't know, maybe New York. But like, fuck. It's just, unless you own a car, you're just hosed. Like, take a lift and get fucked, I guess. Uh, because there are literally some places you just can't get to in Houston without a car. And there are so many sidewalks where you'll be trying to get to one place from one place to another, and the sidewalk just suddenly terminates for no goddamn reason, and there's just no more sidewalk anymore. It's just a road, and that's it. And it's like, it's oh my god, it's a disaster. I hate it. And there's no bike lanes, there's no public transportation. It just sucks balls. And the solution is not fucking driverless vehicles and like a fleet of driverless Ubers and shit. Like the solution is light rail and subways and fucking or actually just high speed rail to connect the cities too. So you don't have to drive or fly a fucking airplane to go from LA to fucking Vegas or whatever. Like some high speed rail would be nice.
Yeah,
To start, maybe. To start. I don't wanna have to be forced to own a car, in order to survive in a city. If you can't make the city more pedestrian friendly, at least design the neighborhoods so that there's a minimum amount of grocery stores, minimum amount of, just, like, public services and shit, so that are all in a convenient local area for the, apartments or whatever residential housing you have so that you don't have to walk, however many goddamn miles to the grocery store or, live in a food desert. I don't know.
right. Yeah.
God.
No, I mean I agree. I've been to places where there's like a rail that takes you around most of the metro community, and it's been great. I mean, everybody loves it. Everybody uses
Yeah.
it. And
I'm from Salt Lake City. We had a light rail in Salt Lake City, and it was fucking great. It was honestly one of the cheapest and fastest ways to just get to any of the burbs. It just went to all the burbs and then it went all the way downtown. It was tight. I loved it.
yeah, I mean, what else do you really need?
UBI.
True, true, true. That would make things wonderful. I mean, honestly, we have the money. We have the money, but we just fund it into the
Oh, we
military.
absolutely have the money. Isn't that isn't that funny? Like when the pandemic happened, the government issued all these stimulus checks and literally just printed free money for everybody. And so many people figured out for the first time the government can totally do this. They can
Hmm.
totally afford to do this. Like it's no problem. In fact, the government could afford to give us $1,000 checks every fucking month, no problem. Even more than that. Like it would not be an issue. We're the richest fucking country in the on the planet, dude. Like we should all be rich. What the hell? We
Well,
should all at
honestly,
least be living comfortably. There's no reason why we couldn't afford it. But politicians don't want to do it because, once you do it, you can't take it away. As soon as the politicians that are in office now know that if we ever did something like a UBI and succeeded, you would never be able to abolish that after that because people would get used to that being the norm and it would never go away after that. You only
yeah,
have to pass it once. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And like it's also hilarious to me when people talk about how like, well, if everybody gets a UBI, then no one will work, and it's like, who cares? Like, why are you so invested in who works or not? And like, it's a dumb go nowhere argument, anyways, because people are going to work. You get a UBI, and you don't have to pay for stuff like housing and food and stuff.
yeah,
So you're free to pursue whatever artistic or whatever endeavors you want. If you just want to sit at home and play video games, that's fine. But if you aspire to do more, there's still people are still going to want to become doctors and scientists, and like people have a passion for those kinds of things. They want to do those things. They want to help people. That's why they become doctors and nurses. They want to do studies and become scientists. Like people have those passions and they're going to become engineers and they're still going to do that stuff. And you can still offer a financial incentive on top of that for those jobs. So if you want to live a little more comfortably than just whatever you get for UBI, you want to buy a nicer car, maybe you want a better TV, maybe you want nicer stuff than what you can afford on UBI. There's still going to be incentives to work. The point is with UBI and, decommodifying the housing market, stuff like that, it makes it so you're not charged for staying alive. You're not you don't have to pay rent. You don't have to pay for food. You don't have to pay for things that are literally essential for survival. Don't even get me started on socialized medicine. I think that's part of we could agree that would be part of it too. But but yeah, I mean,
I
it's
agree.
it's
Yeah,
insane. It's really insane. And when you look at uh subreddits popping up like anti-work, which has gotten super, super popular lately, and half the posts are literally people talking about quitting their shitty jobs or, you know, screenshots of their manager messaging them, telling them to come in on their day off or whatever, and they don't want to do it. and then they get threatened and then they quit their job, you know? Just shit like that. And people are fed up. And I think a lot of millennials and especially a lot of Gen Z, I think we are we're tired. Honestly, I think we're fucking jaded, and I am 34, ma'am. I should not be this jaded at 34. Jesus Christ. Why do we feel like this? We feel like this because we recognize the trap. You know, our parents could all afford houses. They could all afford to go to college. They could all afford this shit. You know, they're not in mountains of student loan debt now. Like, this isn't fair. You know, if you look at the amount of production, you know, labor value since, you know, in the last 50 fucking years, it's through the roof. Like our production, we are producing more than ever, and we are getting paid less than ever. It's insane. We are If you look at those graphs, you realize we are so much poorer than our parents ever were by a lot. And a lot of people in my generation and younger are figuring out we're never going to be able to afford a house probably with the way this is going. And you know, why should I literally risk my life working a food service job because people refuse to get vaccinated or wear masks, whatever? Why should I put my health at risk, be an essential worker for fucking $12 an hour? You know, like, you can't live on that, dog. Like, people aren't even asking to, like, be wealthy or shit, man. People just wanna make enough money to afford to live. That's it. Jesus Christ. Like, and so I think that it's compounding in places like anti-work, and it you're seeing it more and more. It'll be interesting, you know, as a political streamer myself, I'm really interested to sort of follow this and see what happens if we see more collective action happen, more unionization, more, you know, or just maybe some alternative solutions for work. Um, I also think that more and more young people are turning to online content creation as a source of income or revenue because that's a much preferable alternative in this day and age to a 9 to 5. And granted, a lot of jobs like regular office drone office jobs are work from home now, which is great, but it's still a trap. And people can see that, and you know, people look at what YouTubers do and what Twitch streamers do, and they say, you know what, that looks like a lot more comfortable position to be in than working at fucking Starbucks for $9 an hour and getting drinks thrown at me because somebody made it wrong. You know? Fuck that. Like, why would anybody put up with that? That's some shit, you know? Of course you're gonna look into doing something like online content creation or something. You know, like I think there's a reason why we're seeing more and more people try and find alternative ways to make money now because like this sucks. Until something changes to make this better for everyone, it doesn't seem worth it for a lot of us, you know?
Absolutely. I agree. I think I've seen a lot of that, especially, and we saw a lot of that when the pandemic started too, and like OnlyFans started to really come into swing when
Yeah.
people started to try to find other ways to make money. And they were, you know, the first thing that a lot of people jump to, and they don't have a whole lot of like experience dealing with this, like running into situations where suddenly you have to find other sources of income. A lot of people jump to
Mhm.
like prostitution and stuff, of course. So like that's like their first thought is like sex work of some sort. And
Mhm.
um, you know, I think a lot of people have seen like we have seen a lot more Twitch streamers and a lot more YouTubers start to come out because of that as well. But I agree. I think there would be there's goodness. I think we can kind of like connect that back to the last thing we were talking about needing more trans people out here.
Mhm.
I think we definitely need to see more trans people kind of like, especially if your workplace is like particularly transphobic. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, take a stand up and say something about it. And if
Can
they
I
give you
can I tell
shit,
you a story about that?
yeah, go for it.
So, yeah, my one of my previous jobs, I'm not gonna name names, of course, but previous job I had, it was the job that I came out at and first transitioned at. So when I was hired, I was boy mode, and then I came out at work to the HR manager, and then uh yeah, but everyone was super nice about it, but man, I just there were people that always misgendered me. And it did not matter how many times I corrected them. It was this passive aggressive, evil little fucking thing. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's when when someone who's transphobic or doesn't like you misgenders you like that, it is the most vile little passive aggressive thing they can think of to get at you. And it sucks. But, uh but yeah, I absolutely agree. So if you're putting up with something like that, yeah.
For sure. No, I agree. I think we all need to build some kind of like better future for ourselves.
Mhm.
But yeah, well, I think we could go ahead and wrap up here. Anything else you wanted to say before we head off?
Um, I think I think that's it. Just thanks for having me. Like I said, I'm EroticSkeleton on Twitter, and you can find all my links at the it's linktr.ee/erotic skeleton. Linktree erotic skeleton. Thanks
Very
for having
good.
me.
Of course, yeah, my pleasure. Well, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna leave all
Yeah, it
your
was
links
fun.
in the below in the description. So if you have anything that's not on the link tree that you want me to include, just send it to me in a DM and I'll put it in there. Okay.
Sounds good.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for coming out for another Friendly Friday. Take care and have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Bye.